Boom. We going live.
We going live.
We are going live. We are going live. It is 1 o'clock on a Friday, which can mean one thing and one thing only. Jesse, what is it?
It's Crucible TV time! And we fired up today.
We fired up. We're full of heat. We're not cold today. It's not a cold day. Jesse isn't cold. He might look cold, but he's not cold.
That's
He's
right.
bringing all the heat today.
Bringing heat and energy.
Guys, what is happening? We're going to let everybody stream on in. Danielle, Nick Tucker coming in. He's going to be bringing and dropping maybe a couple more knowledge bombs in because that's what he did last week. There we go. Maldonado, great afternoon, guys. I love it. Man, we're feeling good.
Stacey Main's in the house. Let's go.
So it's Friday. And you know we're in the middle of this series. We're calling it the one big thing or the one big idea, where we're bringing you some of our favorite books, different topics, different ideas from some of our favorite authors. And we're bringing you the one big idea or the one big takeaway or the one big thing that we have taken from these books and from these authors. Because we know that leaders are readers. We know that. You guys know that. You've been listening to this. But guess what? A lot of us don't spend the time to read. We go, oh no, I don't like reading. I don't have the time to read.
Reading, gross.
Ew, it's no fun. Right? All of that hogwashing nonsense. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna suck it up and we're gonna make sure that we're going and doing the hard work for you, and we're just gonna spoon feed you. We're just gonna give you the good stuff. So that is what we're doing. We're giving you the one big idea from some of our favorite books. We've talked about Chase the Lion. What did we talk about last week, Jesse? Do you remember?
We talked about It Takes What It Takes by Trevor Moawad.
It takes what it takes. And then this week, we got some Cherish the Challenge going on. Hey, congratulations. I see you there. And then we got, today, we're diving into another book. Another book, and it's really an author, but he's so much more than an author. He's a coach. He's a trainer. He's trained Kobe Bryant. He trained Michael Jordan. He trained Dwayne Wade. I don't know if you've heard of any of those basketball players. I don't know if you've heard them, but they're the best, some of the best to ever play the game. So that is what we're going to bring you today. It's by an author, by a coach, by a trainer named Tim Grover. Now, he's actually written a couple books, so we're actually not even going to talk about just one book. We're going to take the one big idea, and blend it all together. Instead of making you go out there and read 3 books, he's got one called Relentless. He's got one called Winning. He's got another one called Jump Attack. Yeah. There it is, Jump Attack. Instead of going through and going through all of them separately, we're just going to say, hey, what was the best? What were the highlights from all of those? Because, guys, what he does and what Tim does is instead of just saying, hey, I'm going to go grab the youngest athlete or this, and then we're going to make them better. No, what he did is he went and found the superstars, and he made those superstars even better, right? That's a hard thing to do because you're talking about margins of error being so small. That's like taking Olympians and saying, hey, Usain Bolt, you're already the best in the world. I'm going to make you better. What would your approach be? How would you do that? That's a very daunting, hard thing to do, but he did it.
And that right there is just an amazing realization. Whether it's turning good to great or great to greater, there's always opportunity to grow. There's always opportunity to get better. You know, you grow throughout the journey. You grow, you get better. You want to acknowledge that, but you also got to be like, hey, I did something great right here. Now there's the next level. There's a level up. You know, whether it's taking a 38-inch vertical to a 40-inch. Or hitting 30 for the first time. There's always that way to grow. So
that is what we are doing today. So Jesse, I'm actually going to have you lead us off today. There's Relentless, there's Winning, there's the Jump Attack. What was your one big idea from Tim Grover that you just can't get out of your head, that you got to get to Briar Castello and Haley and Grappito, because since they're all on the line right now, they want to hear from you right now.
I love it. Well, you know, we say cherish the challenge right here. And one thing that really challenged me off the bat, it was a great, just eye-opening realization, was
cherish the challenge.
Cherish the challenge.
We got our directors getting wild. Look out.
It's getting crazy here. But someone that really, you know, made me think cherish the challenge right here was he would interview some of the best. And he would say, how would you guys describe winning? And their definition.
What would the normal people say about winning?
That's what the normal people would say, that winning is euphoric. It's great.
What do you guys? If you had to describe winning,
yeah,
in one word, before we tell you what the best do, how would you describe winning? How would you describe winning? Right, type it in. How would you describe it? One word. How would you describe winning? Continue, sorry.
They would describe it as something like a fairy tale, just sunshines and rainbows. That's how normal people would describe winning. But then they asked, you know, he would interview MJ and Kobe and all these great athletes that he would train, and they actually had some pretty scary words to describe winning. And I don't know about y'all, but I want to be a winner. I want to be successful. I want to win, whether it's at training, whether it's at coaching, whether it's in relationships, whether it's with friendships, family. I want to be a winner. I don't know about y'all. And the best in the world would describe winning as uncivilized, gritty, dirty, you know,
sweaty.
It wasn't necessarily the most attractive and comfortable adjectives to describe winning. I love it. A challenge.
A must. I like that. Rapido.
But that was to me that really jumped out, because it made me think, cherish the challenge. Where do we get better? It's through doing the tough stuff. And if the best in the world are saying that winning is grimy, that it's a little bit dirty, it's uncomfortable, and it interlined a lot of what we try to do every single day, and it challenged me too, because I'm a human being. I get caught up with comfort sometimes, and I'm not saying comfort's a bad thing, but sometimes if we're trying to win here, it's going to take doing uncomfortable things and getting outside that comfort zone and leaning into the tough stuff.
Well, and I think exactly what you're saying. The fact that the average person, right? Again, nothing wrong with it. They see winning as what we see at the Super Bowl. They see the celebrations. They see confetti. They see all of that. So their head immediately goes to celebration, right? But the people who are doing the winning, they know that the true win doesn't happen on the field. It happens when nobody's watching. It happens in the weight room. It happens at night, early in the morning, when they're getting up, when they're doing all the things that nobody else is doing, right? Why is it that the best in the world describe it so differently? It's because they're doing things differently than the average person is, right? It's exactly what they're saying. And what your big realization is that winning isn't done just on the field. The win has already happened
before they even step on.
Before they stepped on the field, before they stepped on the court. It happened in their mind, it happened in their actions, it happened in all those training sessions, in all those sacrifices, and all those sweaty practices, and all those ice baths. It happened in all of those things that nobody else saw. But the average person just sees confetti, celebrations, Tom Brady throwing Super Bowl trophies from boat to boat. That's winning.
They don't see
that ain't winning.
They don't. It's the journey. You know what I mean? The journey. They see the confetti, but they don't see the journey that got them there. And you hear the mindset and just the consistent pursuit of excellence at their craft that some of these best in the world have. It's extremely inspiring, but it also is like, it's a great realization and it kind of segues with the other book. It takes what it takes, you know, and it takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes early mornings. They were getting up, shooting, and you know what I mean?
All that stuff,
nutrition, like all of it, training on game days, even things that some people are like, well, that's unheard of, but they were willing to do things out of the ordinary to be extraordinary.
So is being the best in the world. That's unheard of as well. Grappito, Olympic gold medalist, philosophy. I must win. I must win. That's very similar to Kobe Bryant. You want to know what Kobe Bryant's comment was? It's everything. It's everything. Winning is everything. And that's a pretty bold statement, right? But again, is there any surprise that a bold guy, one of the best in the world to ever do it, has a mindset like that is different from what's average, that's different from what's comfortable, that's different from what just the normal everyday person who, I'm going to say, doesn't win like he does. There's not a lot of athletes out there that won like Kobe did. There's not a lot of athletes that won or win like Jordan did, right? There's not a lot of them out there, right? Is it any surprise that the way that they view winning is very different from the normal average person? And that's the whole idea of his book, is he's trying to bring that mindset. Tim's trying to bring that mindset to you. Where do you fall in that? How do you view winning? How do you view that success? Might have to take a lesson and say, you know what, if I'm looking at it as all sunshine and rainbows, you know what, maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe there's another level that I can get to, right? And that brings me to one of my biggest takeaways. It's not my only takeaway, but I thought it was just a very good one to think about. And it goes right along with what Jesse was saying. The winners, he calls them cleaners. He calls them cleaners. That's his big word in Relentless. He calls those athletes cleaners because they're always coming in and cleaning up the mess. They're always cleaning up the stuff. They do it in silence. They do it when nobody else is watching. Think of it like the custodians of a school or wherever. They're coming in. They have access to everything, but they just quietly go and do the job, right? So he calls them cleaners. But the idea that the cleaners or the winners, they are so addicted to the end result that it doesn't matter what it takes to get there, right? They don't care if it's comfortable. They don't care how they feel about it. They don't care about what it's gonna take to get to where it is. They want that end result so badly. They're so focused on that end result so much that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there, that it takes what it takes, right? And that's a big mindset shift, because what happens to the average athlete or to the average person? We get so caught up in the process. And I don't like how this feels right now. I don't like having to get up at 5 a.m. I don't like having to count my calories. I don't like having to do cardio. I don't like having to balance my budget. I don't like having to make
a decision that might let people down, that I might hurt feelings doing so. You know what I mean? That's
all of those
one
things.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm so concerned about what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah.
Like, they might think of me differently, or they might think that I'm working too hard, or what they might call me crazy. The best in the world? None of that matters. None of that matters. They focus so purely on, what do I got to do to make myself better? Think about Navy SEALs. They are the best in the world at what they do. They have a mission, they go do silently, they execute it, and as soon as they execute that mission, it's on to the next challenge. Not to the next easy thing to do, it's on to the next challenge. It's on to the next big ticket item. Because the SEALs, they don't show up for the everyday, let me just do this. No, they go after the highest value targets. And they're only called in for the highest value targets. So once they execute, once they complete the mission, it's on to the next high value, big challenge. So that's a big takeaway for me, because when I look at my life, when I look at business, when I look at just me as a father, a husband, a business owner, or whatever it is, it's, what am I getting caught up in? Am I getting caught up and worried about how I feel about certain things or the process of these little things? Or am I so relentlessly focused on where it is that I'm trying to go that I'm willing to do what it takes? I'm willing to get up a little bit or a lot of it earlier. I'm willing to maybe have to pull that all-nighter to get this thing done because that's what it takes. I'm willing to go to the grocery store for my wife and my daughter after a long 12-hour day because, you know what? We need it. Because that's what being a good husband is, right? Whatever it is, whatever that thing is for you, I want to be the best at, boom. What does it take to get there? And get so relentlessly focused on that outcome that whatever you got to do to get to get to where it is, I'm not emotional about it. And it just is what it is, and I'm going to do it.
And this relentless winning thing can be related to so much more than just sports, guys. Like, whether it's, like, I don't know if we have any parents watching right now.
We got some parents.
We
got Jen in the house. Let's go.
Whether it's winning at home, you know what I mean? Winning with the kids. Like,
yep.
What does it take to win as a parent? Like, I don't know. I have no freaking idea what it's like to be a parent. But I do know you could probably relate a lot of these same principles to your relationships, to your work life. Like, hey, what's it take to win? Maybe I don't feel like having this conversation with somebody I care about right now, and it's not going to be very sunshine and rainbows, but sometimes the best conversations are the tough conversations. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna do that thing I don't feel like, you know, or like you said right there, hey, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get these groceries tonight. I'm tired, but that's what it takes.
Well, exactly, you know? What you said, right? If your goal is to, hey, I want to have the best relationship I can have, sometimes that means there's friction, right? Friction means growth, right? Sometimes there's friction. So to have the best relationship, We need to talk about the tough things. We don't just avoid them. We talk about the tough things, right? Same thing with a owner, employee, whatever it is. There are times that we have to have hard conversations, not like mean conversations, just hard conversations so that we can both grow. Honest conversations. Sometimes they're not comfortable because it's like, hey, Ryan, I feel like you need to support me more here. Or, hey, Jesse, I feel like you need to do this because this is what we're trying to go and what we're doing here isn't cutting it. So we need to level up. It's not because we're mad or because we're whatever. It's just based on where we're trying to go. This is what needs to be done. And hey, we're not there right now, so we need to step it up. So that's what it takes, right? Friction means growth. Love that. Amen to that. That's what happens, right? That's that refining edge, right? That we're refining it down. So, man, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go for another like hour, but I know it's Friday and we try to keep it keep it short for you guys. So, cuz it's Friday and we want you making sure that you're having some good energy to finish this Friday strong. So, be sure, let us know if you've read any of these books that we're doing. Let us know. What are some of your biggest takeaways? If you want to watch some of our old series, they're on YouTube. I'm getting some of the other ones up right now as we speak, right after this session. So we're going to get those up and updated for you. But be sure to check them out. Be sure if something piques your interest, let us know. We'd love to find out and talk more about it and hear what your biggest takeaways are. So, next week, be sure to join us. We're going to be diving into an author. His name is Ant Middleton. Oh man, bad connection on Instagram. That don't matter. We're going to keep on going.
And we back on Instagram.
It was like a teaser. That was a teaser. The bad connection lost. Ant Middleton. We're going with Ant Middleton next week. Do a little research on that guy. He's a little nutty, but I tell you what, you want to talk about